Hello, Shanna. I just finishing doing my meal, and today I received the answer of attorneys about my case with a mental health institute where my ex have his treatment, and their response didn't affect me. I come to a point in my life where I've been treated so badly that the government have really touched my fundamental human rights, that they can write whatever they want. I just want the judge to read it and come to the conclusion. That's what my case against the Dutch government is about. I've been writing for years with the human rights courts about what the Dutch government was all doing to me for years and years. I have my bicycle with me because I just finished the meal and it's starting to get dark, but I really wanted to make a small walk. I quite suffer. I really suffer being in this process. But I developed some kind of no stigma, but that I know how to deal with pain. It doesn't affect me anymore like it used to. That when I read things about myself, people make their own conclusion. I feel that the adrenaline doesn't hit me really bad. My human rights have been really, really taken away from me for so incredible many years. If you talk about my son, my child, when I fell in love with the father of my child, I was really looking for a different future. He was a guitar player, musician, really nice guy if he didn't use any drugs and drunk. And I was very young when I met him. There is nothing wrong when you are very young and you meet the love of your life. There's nothing wrong about that. But my ex, he really absolutely abused everything he could in his power to try to control my life. This is what narcissist people do. I'm following the case of Amber Heard and Johnny Depp, and some people think he have win and he spoke the truth or whatever. But in the court of the UK, Johnny Depp lost. And when I look at Johnny Depp, the way he's reacting on his victory against Amber Rose, I really see a narcissist. I really see a huge narcissist. And I even recognize my ex in Johnny Depp. I'm thinking, oh my God, I know this, I know this. So the way that Johnny Depp is acting, it was the same way that my ex win. My ex, he gets the parental rights alone because he did not want to do any communication with me. So I was trying to do co-parenting, and he refused to be in part with it, and he made up his lie. He had a sexual relationship with a child protection, something that I cannot prove. But my lawyer and I, we are 100% it was. It was a situation. So I couldn't do co-parenting with my ex. How successful I became with my business, with myself, how harder and meaner he was going to be like Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp have win the first court, And he's like, wow, look at me, wow, ooh, I'm a star, ooh, wow, ooh. You know, he's putting Amber Rose down like she's a dog, and he's peeing on her. Uh, so I'm looking at these pictures of Johnny Depp, and I recognize the behavior of my ex. My ex did exactly the same thing to me. So this is a narcissist, absolutely narcissist. So in my documentation with the court, the government lawyer is talking about, well, we didn't do anything wrong. The court confirmed it. You know what's so sad is, and in the same time, life is changing, is that not so long ago, a judge came into the news, to the news channel, and the judge said, we judges, we made mistakes, that we allowed the government to take too much freedom, and that there were too many times that we couldn't see that the government did what we asked them to do. In my case, the judge said that Joshua, my son, had to come back to me because I was the number one caretaker for my son for 4 years. And then after 6 months or 8 months, we had to go back to the court again. So in a statement of the court, the court said, you know, we made a mistake many times when we said to the child protection, the child needs to get back to the mother or whatever things need to be done. We did not take the time to check out that the child protection did what the order said. And one of the reasons that I lost my son is because there was no control of the courts making sure that the government was doing what the court told them to do. And this is what my case in the child protection about my son is about, that they never listen. You know, the child protection here in the Netherlands, they stand above the law, you know. And I am black, so I'm being discriminated. I'm being treated like apartheid, and my ex is Caucasian. He has a father and mother, and that's a story. And so in my case, in that time of my case, judges did not come back to the situation quick. So now the new system that the judge are saying, listen, this government, every time when we say the government need to do this, the government don't do what we do, they do what they want, you know. So in my case, my son's supposed to be back to me, and they never work on it to get it back. The defense of the court's lawyer is, of course, the government is beautiful, gorgeous, never do this kind of mistake. Everything is my fault, of course. And they don't have any recognition that my ex is a narcissist, is a mental case. I heard that he is back in French in addiction. You know, it's normal. Every 3 months, 7 months, he's back in a clinic. That have always been that way. And I sued the therapist organization. They said, no, it's confidential. We cannot talk about it. So what the Mental Health Institute said, because my ex addiction is confidential, they did not contact the child protection, and they did not go to court to make sure that my son will be safe. So nobody is taking any responsibility. So when I was young, and I was living with my adopted parents, it was quite the same situation. A lot of people knew that I was being raped weekly, together with my sisters. So my doctor knew very fast I was being raped. My school knew I was being raped. I was raped, and the child protection knew that I was being raped. And everyone was like, you know what, the child protection is in it, so the child protection will take care of this problem. And the child protection did nothing. So when I had this problem with my son, um, it was starting the same thing again and again. Again, did the child protection did nothing, and again did no one nothing. So when my ex win the court because he was sorry fucking the child protection, he didn't have to prove anything because they were on his side anyway, and that my son was being mistreated, beating, emotionally and physically. You know, physically was very simple. Um, I called my ex one day, and then that he said I was threatening him. I called my ex one day. I said, "Do you remember that I was raped as a child?" "Yes, I remember," he said. I said, "Do you remember that I survived it?" "Yes." So I said to him, "If you ever touch my child again, I'm going to get you, you know. I'm going to deal with you." So I said to him, "If you do this to Joshua, I do that to you." I said to him, "You have to remember, everything that you do to my child, that hurt my child, I will get back to you." So then we were back in court. And then my ex said, "I'm so scared. My ex is threatening me because of her use, you know." But it did work that didn't have that he didn't feel any freedom, that he could continuing beat up my son or do whatever my son want. I had also a very good judge because my ex was trying to convince the judge that I sexual abused my child. Can you imagine? And then one judge said to him, you know, if you, he said to my ex, "If you keep continuing that, I will throw you in jail," the judge said. And one judge also said to him, "You know what? You have start this fight with your ex. You are not going to have an happy life." So the judge said to my ex, "You better think very well with who you are dealing with." So, and I could stand up for my child, because I remember when I was being raped together with my son, the child protection did not come to help us. The doctors didn't come to help us. The therapists didn't come to help us. The school didn't come to help us. And the result of that is that I had a horrible childhood in the Netherlands, and horrible thing. So now going through this lawsuit with my ex surrounding my child, I'm finding out like, oh, okay, I didn't do a bad. I did it quite well, uh, to educate my ex that he cannot touch my child the way I've been touched. You know, I remember that he was so scared. He was so scared of me. Yeah. And I said to him, you don't touch Joshua. You know, you're really not going to hurt my son the way that, you know. And I was very serious. So when I showed my ex that he didn't have any control about me and the whole situation, he was really losing it. He was really losing it. And, you know, I also realized very well that I expressed myself made me survive a really difficult situation. So being in court right now and receiving again papers how the government said we did it perfectly, and the court agree with us, you know, and blah de blah de blah. You know, we had a scandal here in Netherlands, and it called zorgtoeslag. People who had problem with the tax, their children were being taken away of their home because they had financially problems, and people went to the High Court, and the High Court agreed with the child protection because it was neglect, because they didn't have money, they had financially problem, but these problems were all created by the tax, and these problems were created by the child protection. So nobody listened to these people. So if I'm correct, 13,000 children were removed from the home because of the bad reports that the child protection have write about the family, because they only had a financial problem. My problem was that I had one problem with my ex, that he was an addict. But they didn't do anything that my ex was an addict. No, they start to attack me about my childhood, that I was raped, and that if I'm okay, if how can I survive it. I mean, the same child protection who did not come to save me when I was being raped as a child, really weekly. So these people, they lost the child because the child protection was creating reports, blowing things up. Just because I was raped as a child, I couldn't be successful as a mom while I had my own business. I run my own business. I have my own healthcare business for almost 28 years. So I was good enough to be in the bed, take care of sick people, babysit other children, but I wasn't good enough to have any contact with my child because my drug addicts, alcoholic ex, told them that, and they wrote a report about it, and they sent it to the court. So my whole situation right now with the court is that the court have to decide that what was written by me, what was writing about me wasn't the correct information that the child protection have give. So they have give a false image about who I am, what I come from, and they have neglect to tell the judge how serious the addiction of my ex was. They never even talk about the addiction of my ex, and they did not do any research about an ex. Even that was the main reason that I divorced the father of my child. So this lawsuit between me and the government gonna be very exciting. And they think that I'm going to have a breakdown. I'm not going to have a breakdown, Dutch government. You're going to have a breakdown because I'm going to put the shame on you because you've been destroying families for years. And when I was a child and I was being raped, nobody helped me. Nobody helped me. I really had to do it on myself. When I had my opinion that I realized I could get pregnant thing. This is when I start walking with a knife around me, and I really stabbed. Believe me, I really stabbed my rapist. I said, "You are not gonna make me pregnant." And the greatest thing is, I was also stronger. So when I had my opinion, I was thinking, "I'm not going to have an abortion. You're not going to make me pregnant. We are not going there." If I'm gonna be pregnant, I'm gonna be pregnant because I want and not an accident. So I have really beat the crap out of them. I was when I had my opinion. I don't know how you call it when you have your opinion, you get aggressive every month. I was like that. It was the best feeling in the world. So before I didn't have that hormone in my body, but I remember when I had a hormone. I was thinking, you are not going to make me pregnant. I'm not going to have an abortion because you accidentally make me pregnant. And I'm not going through that. You're not going to hurt me, destroy me. And I remember so well that I really start to beat the fucking crap out of them. And then the same child protection that didn't help me called me that I was aggressive. But my doctors, they were very proud. They were really, 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 really very proud. So that was an extremely drama that I really want to talk about. I really want to express this in court, what it was for me going through this kind of things. So, but I was happy that my son wasn't going to be raped because I said to my ex, if anything happens sexually with my son, you're dead. You're absolutely dead. He said, I said, you're going to protect my son's body with your life. I said to him, and if you don't, you're so fucking dead. And I was in court, and I even said it. In court. And I even said to the job, I said to the job, listen, you can think about me what you want, but do not touch my son. My son is not going to go through rape, sexual abuse. Because if that happened under the care of my ex, he's dead. He's absolutely dead. And everybody knew I was serious, you know. For me, that was the line. That was it. No, don't go any farther. That was it. So doing this lawsuit and having this response today about the government is responding on old papers. You know, they have nothing news to say. But, you know, they are forgetting we are talking about humanitarian rights. My humanitarian rights have been taken away from me since I was a child. And then when I had my child, his rights were also being taken away from him. Why? Because my ex, as a mentally sick person, is being protected by the law. You know, protecting mental ill people, fine. But if you go that far, like my ex went, you are just a criminal and I want you to be punished. And believe me, I want him to be punished. You know, people who have mental illness, I even give them support. You know, I took care of a man for 13 years. He was mental ill, and I loved him so much, and I had such a beautiful time with him. He passed away 2 years ago, and I miss him so much because you can have a lot of fun with people who are mentally ill, and they are not all the same. They are not all bad, and I have experienced that. You know, they are special in their own way. You know, I have my friend, she has mental problem and I can deal with her very much. I love her, I'm proud with her. So if you are mentally sick, it doesn't mean always that you are a bad person, that you are mean. But my ex, he's so mean and so bad. And the way that the government have protected him because he's Caucasian, because he's white, and because I am black, and I am black, and they use apartheid against me, and because I come from another country, the discrimination is very high. And you know what? I don't even like to say the word discrimination because my child is biracial. I don't look at people of color, but I was discriminated. I was discriminated, and I remember that I was in court and I was thinking, I'm not going to use the word discrimination in words. I refuse because I love multicultural people. And I know that my ex, that he loved black people. So he wasn't even a racist. He was a narcissist. He was a narcissist, and a child protection, they are a racist. They are doing apartheid. And that's what I'm going to prove in court to them. But I can tell you one thing, that my son, that he wasn't raped. I see that as a victory every day of my life. I'm so happy my son didn't go through that. I mean, he's 23, he can still be raped, you know. I was looking at old photos of Michael Jackson, and you remember the video clip that he sang that, the way you're making me feel, you really turn me on. That girl, she kissed him on stage that he didn't like because she wanted to seduce him, and then he kicked her out of the tour, of the bad tour. He was Michael Jackson was, I make it bigger than it is, but Michael Jackson was raped on the stage because she forced his kiss on him, and she wanted to have him. So Michael Jackson was very professional, so he just give her his dangerous smile. That's one of the photos I love the most. And after the concert, she was kicked out for sexual mistreating my dad. I love that. Sorry. But anyway, so something like that can still happen to my son. That someone said, you know, Joshua, you're not going to get out of the door because I want to have sex with you or whatever. I don't know. But anyway, then he is an adult. He can handle it. But I didn't want anyone to touch my child when he was so young. I didn't want him to go to the same experience as I am. So but I really have fight for it. I really have fight for it. And all my lawsuits with my son, they really make me stronger. That I want him to be happy, have a better life than me. And this lawsuit with the Dutch government, they can write whatever they want, but they have discriminated me, they have done apartheid, and they have really hurt my humanity rights. And that's what I wanted to say. Whew, my bike. Some people are coming. Yeah. So I'm going home now. Did my walk. I'm only talking. Do you hear them? So let me go that way. So I'm so happy that my son is doing well. So happy doing this lawsuit. And so I can close up. So let me close this. Bye-bye. Oh, dit was Mocienne Petit. Hi.
Oh, hallo.
Hi.
Moet je me gooien?
Zwaaien. Nee, ja, jullie staan er niet op. Hi. Jullie waren aan het lopen.
Ja, die zijn aan het wandelen.
Oké, ik moet even afsluiten. Ik haal jullie zo in. Okay. So, these were even some of my friends. They were walking together, so who just passed me by. Say hello. So it was my YouTube channel, Mocienne Petit Jackson. I want to say thank you so much for watching. And today I didn't cry when I received the answer of the court. Not of the court, but of the response to the court. It doesn't affect me because I know very well that my humanitarian rights have been disturbed, and that they just want to put me down. But I really have faith. I have faith in I want to keep faith. So that's what I wanted to say. So there was Mocienne Petit Jackson, and keep you updating. I want to finish this conversation saying that I'm so proud with my son. I'm so proud with him and the way he's living his life and the things he has survived. I'm so proud. I'm so extraordinary happy with he's living his life, my baby. And he didn't have to pass what I passed. And I'm grateful for that. So it was Mocienne Petit Jackson. Thank you for watching my channel, and I keep you updating. Bye-bye.